Excellent. Okay, we have begun recording. Good evening, brothers and sisters. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our final study group session of this year in preparation for the Malaysian Buddhist Examination. Okay, today is a bit different, a bit more special. We are starting half an hour earlier because maybe we would have more time for questions and answers. Maybe we would have more time for some discussion if some of you want to look through some of the past year questions. Okay, in the WhatsApp group, I've noticed that some of you have been asking some questions, so we could look at that as well. All right, the examination is in a few more days. 3 more days, right? Thursday is the exam. Okay, are you all ready for the examination? Okay, good. Right, so let's begin our tutorial session today. I am going to start by sharing my slides. Give me one moment. All right, my screen share is loading, and I hope everyone can see it now. Okay, excellent. Nice. Let us begin with the opening puja as we pay homage to our teacher, the Exalted One. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to him, the Blessed One, the Perfected One, the Supremely Awakened One. To the Supreme Buddha, the teacher of gods and humans, to the sublime Dhamma, the truth and the way to ultimate joy, and to the noble Sangha, the protectors of Lord Buddha's message, we go for refuge. We seek no other refuge. Buddhang saranang gacchami, Dhammang saranang gacchami, Sanghang saranang gacchami. Dutiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami, Dutiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami, Dutiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami. Tatiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami, Tatiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami, Tatiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. All right, we pay homage to the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha, to the Buddha, our teacher, to the Dhamma, his message, and to the Sangha, his order of disciples, we go for refuge. Okay, so I trust that you have been working on the past year papers. You've been practicing them, I hope, and I've been seeing some very encouraging discussion in the group. All right, some of you have started WhatsApp group polls for people to vote on the answers. All right, so that's a very good effort. I really appreciate the group effort, the teamwork. Okay, so the slides, I would put the link to the slides in the Google Drive folder. You guys can refer to that. Also, the Google Drive links for the past 2 years are also quite helpful. You will be able to find notes and some of the slides for the past 2 years as well. Yeah, so on YouTube, you will not just see our videos for this year, our video recordings for this year. We'll also be able to see the video recordings for the past 2 years. Okay, yeah, they're all facilitated by Brother Wei Ken. Yeah, we need we need more people. If some of you are interested to come forward to be one of the facilitators for our future sessions for our upcoming years, feel free to reach out to us. We will be very happy to work with you. All right, so Google Drive folder, WhatsApp group. All right, all good, excellent, nice. So let's go to our session today. All right, so we stopped somewhere here. I want to do a little bit of recap for the past 2 to 3 weeks, yeah, of learning. I think there are a few points that are worth reflecting on. Okay. Yes. So one of the earlier sessions, I think, was 2 weeks ago. Yeah, one participant asked a question about Devadatta, right? Why did Devadatta want to worship the Buddha, want to kill the Buddha? He attempted to kill the Buddha, and we looked at the story of how uh, he was jealous of the power of the Buddha. He himself wanted to lead the Sangha. To him, to Devadatta, he had the authority, he had the power, he had the leadership, he had the charisma to also lead the institution, the order of disciples. And he was wondering, well, he was the Buddha's cousin. He was not too different from the Buddha. Why does he not have that authority to lead? And Devadatta was not. He was not an unskilled or a very what's the word, or a very non-advanced spiritual practitioner. He was actually quite advanced in his progress. He was actually quite proficient in his meditation. Some of the meditative abilities he was also gaining, and he was using these meditative powers to impress people, to gain the honor, to gain the respect of other people, because he wanted to have that fame, he wanted to have that power and that admiration from other people. So here, from the story of Devadatta, I would like all of us to really reflect on the reason and the purpose that we are worshiping the Lord. Why are we worshiping the Lord? Why are we practicing this Dhamma? Why do we learn and practice the Dhamma? Is it for material gain? Is it for fame and popularity? Is it for honor and respect and admiration? If that is our reason, if that is our purpose, then we might not be understanding the true purpose of the Dhamma, the true meaning of the Dhamma. The true essence of the Dhamma, my dear friends, is vimutti. It is liberation. It is freedom. It is emancipation. It is the purification of our hearts. If that is not our ultimate purpose, then we might not be following the Buddha in the right way. One of the earlier sessions, one of our students also asked this question: what is the point of worshiping the Lord? We were looking at some of the ways we worship the Lord, right? We might offer lights, we might offer incense, we might offer water and fruits. So we might make different kinds of offerings. We might offer devotional music and so on. However, we looked at the highest homage, the highest honor that we could give to the Buddha, and the highest honor is by following the Buddha, by practicing the Dhamma in accordance with the teachings of the Buddha. That is the highest honor. And then one student asked this question: what is the point of worshipping the Buddha? What is the point of honoring the Buddha? And here, why do we worship the Lord? Here we want to, and in that session, I gave a few reasons, and so let's revisit those reasons again. The first reason is the first purpose: cultivating conviction, cultivating saddha, our faith, our trust, our confidence in the Triple Gem. As we offer our worship, offer our honor to the Buddha, we cultivate this sense of inspiration, this sense of confidence in us. The second reason or purpose is to express our devotion visibly or publicly. We could also show to other people this is the right way to honor the Buddha, all right, to express our devotion. The third reason is to build this karmic connection with the Buddha and his Dhamma, so that life after life, in this life and in future lives, we continue to meet the Buddha, we continue to encounter his words, we continue to cultivate relationships with the Sangha, with the Kalyana Mittas. All right. And the final purpose and the highest purpose and the truest purpose of worshiping the Buddha, of honoring the Buddha, of practicing the Dhamma is liberation. Liberation from suffering, liberation from all our greed, hatred, and delusion. All right. So that is the purpose of following the Lord. If we do not understand the true reason of honoring the Buddha, then we become like Devadatta, who does not understand why he was following the Dhamma, why he was practicing the Dhamma. He was practicing the Dhamma not for liberation, not for freedom, not for letting go, but for grasping more and more. Grasping after what, brothers and sisters? Grasping after gain, grasping after fame, grasping after the honor and respect and praise and admiration of other people. And so the Buddha said this of Devadatta. This is in the Dhammapada, verse 9. One who, not free of stains themselves, they are not free from the stain, the impurities of the heart, not free from stain themselves, they would wear the robe stained in ochre. You know the ochre robe? The yellow robe, the monks and nuns' robes, all right? Bereft of self-control and of truth. Even though outwardly they look like a Buddhist, they look like a spiritual practitioner, but they do not have self-control, they do not have self-discipline, they do not have self-mastery, and they do not have truth. They are not truly following the Buddha. They are not truly honoring the Buddha. Outwardly they look like a Buddhist, but inwardly, internally, they are not a real Buddhist. The Buddha says, bereft of self-control and of truth, they are not worthy of the ochre robe. They are not a true monk or a true nun. They are not a true practitioner. Okay? They are not a true disciple of the Buddha. So be very mindful of the purpose of following the Dhamma. Are you following the Dhamma with the right intentions? Another reflection and another discussion that was brought up by Sister Kwa, Teacher Kwa, she shared this very beautiful analysis and beautiful reflection about the two powers, the two energies, the energy of love and the energy of fear. That was a very beautiful discussion, and thank you so much, Sister Kwa, for sharing that reflection. The energy of love is that which inspires us, that which motivates us, that which energizes us to practice the Dhamma. On the path of Dhamma, the power of love is the true power, the true energy, the true inspiration. And so we looked at the reason for practicing the 5 precepts, the 5 training principles, Pancha Sikkhapada. All right, and so let's look at them again, once again. The first training principle is our love for life, our love for the mind and body. We want to protect ourselves and we want to protect other beings and other people. The second training principle, not taking what is not given, is our love for integrity. We want to be upright in our conduct, in our behavior. Our love for magnanimity. What is magnanimity? Magnanimity is a generous heart, is an open heart, a big heart, a large heart, all right? That is magnanimity. If we violate the second training principle, we are taking more and more for ourselves what has not been given to us. But if we follow the second precept, we learn to be big-hearted, we learn to be open-hearted, we learn to be generous. Instead of taking, we give, right? We give others what we have. So that is the love for magnanimity, love for an open heart. All right. And then the next one, the third precept, avoiding sensual misconduct, is our love for joy and a love for relationships. Because we understand how precious and how beautiful relationships are, we protect these relationships. We do not want to violate the trust. We do not want to violate the relationships. And it is also our love for joy. If we want real happiness, we want to enjoy sensual pleasures in life, correct? If we want to enjoy sensual pleasures in life, we want to enjoy sensual happiness, we need to understand what is true joy, what is true happiness. If we violate the third training principle, if we commit sensual misconduct, in fact, even if we think we're getting happiness out of it, we're actually not enjoying it rightly. We're actually not getting the maximum enjoyment and the right enjoyment in that moment. If we think that we can violate the third precept in order to gain enjoyment, in fact, in the end, we will realize that we actually do not gain any true joy. So if we want to enjoy our sensual pleasures in the right way, we want to enjoy our sensual pleasures in a long term, then our love for joy has to sustain our commitment to the third training principle. The fourth training principle is our love for truth and our love for the word. To keep our word, to keep our promises. That is our love for truth. To tell the truth and to keep our promises, to keep our word. All right. And finally, the fifth precept is our love for mindfulness, our love for the mind, our love for the heart, our love for the quality of appamada, very vigilant, very diligent, very watchful in our practice. This is the quality of assiduity, quality of appamada. All right. And underlying all of these five loves is ultimately the love for Dhamma, the passion for Dhamma. This word in the sutta is called Dhamma Kamo. All right. In Mandarin, this is called Fa Qing. All right. There are many kinds of Qing in our life. You know what's Qing? Qing means love, relationships. All right. So there is You Qing, our friendships. There is Qin Qing, our family love, love of our siblings, love of our parents. All right. Love of our children. All right. 亲情, there's 友情, 亲情, there is 爱情. 爱情 is romantic love, the love of our partner, the love of our spouse. But the highest love of all is Dhamma Kamo, 法情. All right, the love for Dhamma. Okay, so love is the driving force of transformation. Love is the driving force of purification. Okay, so that's what we looked at in the past few sessions. To recap, now let's look at the Sangha. All right, this is where we stopped last week. Some of the major disciples, some of the important disciples of the Buddha. Okay, hang on, let me take a drink of water. All right, all of these disciples are disciples you need to know for the examination. So take a look at those names, because if there are some of the names that you do not remember or you do not recall, you need to make a note. All right, you need to go and read about their stories, read about their lives. Okay. Okay, let's carry on with our story. The story of Venerable Sariputta and Venerable Mahamoggallana. Last week, we looked at the 6 teachers of the Buddha's time. Now, in addition to these 6 teachers, there are many other teachers, yeah? Many other teachers that do not follow or do not teach the Buddha's path. But these are the 6 teachers that are very prominent at that time in the at that time of the Buddha. So one of these 6 teachers, Sanjaya Belatthiputta, he is the former teacher, the former spiritual teacher of the 2 friends, Upatissa and Kodita. Upatissa and Kodita. However, one day, Upatissa, while he was still following Venerable Sanjaya Belatthiputta, he was still following him, he met one disciple of the Buddha. And this disciple of the Buddha, his name is Venerable Assaji. Venerable Assaji. Now, Venerable Assaji, at that time, he was walking for his alms round. He was walking to gather alms food, okay? So he was walking in a very calm and peaceful and serene way, very dignified manner, very confident manner, very composed manner. And Upatissa, at that time, he was impressed. He was very amazed or very awed by Venerable Assaji. This is someone who looks so peaceful, looks so confident, looks so assured. Of course, Venerable Assaji would be very assured, right? Because Venerable Assaji, at this point, he was already a Sotapanna. No, in fact, even higher, right? He was already an Arahanta at this point. So he had the composure of an enlightened person. And so as Upatissa was very impressed by Venerable Assaji, he was curious. He went to ask him, who is this Venerable Assaji? He was very curious. Who is this person? Who is this spiritual practitioner? And how could he become like him? Okay, so Upatissa approached Venerable Assaji and he asked the questions. Under whom have you gone forth? You have gone forth as a spiritual contemplative, as a samana. Under which teacher? Who is your teacher? Whose Dhamma do you profess? Now, if someone asks you this question, brother or sister, who is your teacher? Whose Dhamma, whose teaching, whose doctrine do you profess? How would you answer? Many of you might say, well, I follow the teaching of the Buddha Gautama, right? Many of you might say this. Venerable Assaji answers, there is, my friend, a great contemplative, a great samana, a son of Sakya, gone forth from a Sakyan family. I have gone forth on account of this Lord, This Lord is my teacher, and I profess this Lord's Dhamma. This Lord's training and teaching is my path. So Upatissa continued asking, wow, this is your teacher. What is the doctrine of your teacher? What does he proclaim? And Venerable Asaji uttered these short verses, this short stanza. Ye Dhamma hetu pabhava te sang hetung tathagato aha te sancha yo nirodho evang vadi mahasamano. Evang vadi, vada means to speak, your speech. Yeah? Musa vada means false speech. Evang vadi, vada is to speak. Mahasamano, the great samana, thus proclaims the Mahasamana. Venerable Asaji explains very briefly, whatever phenomena have a cause and source, their cause the Tathagata has taught, and also that which is their cessation, thus proclaims the great contemplative. Upon hearing just the first two lines of this stanza, already Upatissa attained the first stage of awakening. He became a Sotapanna. So very quickly, he gained the Dhamma Chakku, the eye of Dhamma. So now he is very gladdened, very inspired by this joy of Dhamma. And very excited, he went back to his good friend. His good friend's name is Kolita. His good friend's name is Kolita. And he went back to Kolita and he also recited these same verses, this same teaching. And also, upon hearing this teaching, Kolita also became enlightened first stage, Sotapanna. Now, these two people, they have become disciples of the Buddha. No longer are they disciples of Sanjaya Belatiputta, right? So because they have already become Sotapanna, they have heard the teaching of the Buddha, not directly from the Buddha himself, but from the disciple, all right? And they have gained the eye of Dhamma, the eye of awakening, Dhamma Chakku. So now they go back to their former teacher, Sanjaya. They went back to him and they say, come, let us all follow the teaching of the Buddha together. They're very happy to share this message of the Dhamma, this message of purity, this message of peace, this message of love and compassion. They wanted to share this truth with Sanjaya, wanted to persuade him and also the disciples of Sanjaya to together follow the Buddha. Now, if you were Sanjaya, what would you say? What would you say to these two former disciples? Imagine. One day you have a lot of students, a lot of disciples. And then one day they converted. They converted to someone else, to another religion. And then they come back to you and they also want to convert you. What would you say to them? Maybe you have a lot of pride, a lot of grasping. You want to hold on to your power. You tell them, don't go away. Come back. Don't go away to another teacher. Come and remain my students, my disciples. Now, Sanjaya, he tried to persuade Upatissa and Kolita. He tried to persuade the two of them. How did he try to persuade them? Notice the difference, yeah? How did Venerable Asaji convert Upatissa? How did Sanjaya try to convert Upatissa? Very different. Venerable Asaji converts Upatissa through the truth. He utters and he proclaims and he declares the teaching of the Buddha. The truth of dependent origination, the truth of cause and effect, cause and the cessation of phenomena. This is the truth. And Venerable Asaji speaks the truth to convert Upatissa, correct? But what did Sanjaya do? Sanjaya very smart, very manipulative. So he says, if you remain in my teaching, if you come back to me, I will let you be the co-leader. Wow. You and I together, we will be the leader of my Sangha, the leader of my order of disciples. You and I, we both be the co-leader together, three of us. Wow. This is something that even Devadatta did not get from the Buddha, right? He wanted to go to the Buddha and he says, Come, give your power, give your authority to me. I and you together, we will lead the Sangha. That was what Devadatta says to the Buddha. But the Buddha did not give him that position of power, that position of authority. So now Sanjaya is giving and is offering that position of power, that position of leadership to Upatissa and Kolita, so that they could also be the co-leaders. Wow. Is this very tempting to you? One day, maybe your leader, your boss, might tell you, okay, come, I let you be the CEO of the company. I let you be the managing director of the company. Would you be very attracted, attracted to that offering? Maybe. All right. But of course, Upatissa and Kolita at this point, they were already stream enterers. They were already Sotapanna. Their conviction, their saddha in the Buddha is unshakable, cannot be shaken. So of course, they said, no, I shall continue following the Buddha. Now at this point, what would you say? If you were Sanjaya, if you are the teacher, what would you say at this point? Sanjaya asks them this question, very, very insightful question. Friends, Upatissa, Kolita, which are more numerous in this world, the foolish or the wise? The foolish or the wise? Which one who are more numerous? Who are the number of them is higher in the world, the amount of people in the world? Of course, they said the foolish people are more in the world, right? And Sanjaya says, let the wise follow the Buddha Gautama. Let the foolish come to me. I want a numerous following. I want a large following. I shall continue to keep the foolish as my disciples. And all the wise ones, you can bring them away. So some of the disciples of Sanjaya, Sariputta and Mahamoggallana, took them away. They also converted some of the disciples of Sanjaya, and they brought them away to follow the Buddha. But some of the stubborn ones, they remain under Sanjaya. Okay, so this is the story of Sariputta and Mahamoggallana. So these are the two chief disciples of the Buddha, the two male chief disciples of the Buddha. Now, there are also two female chief disciples of the Buddha, Venerable Khema and Venerable Upalavana. Now, let's look at their stories, okay? Now, these two chief disciples, they are foremost in great wisdom, Mahapanya, Venerable Sariputta, and foremost in psychic power or foremost in supernatural power, foremost in Iddhi Manta. This is Venerable Mahamoggallana. Iddhi Manta, the psychic power, the supernatural power. Okay, my internet connection is unstable. Is it working now? Okay, excellent. So I repeat, Venerable Khema is the foremost in the great wisdom, Mahapanya, and Venerable Upalavana is foremost in Iddhi Manta, the psychic power or supernatural power. Okay, so let's look at very briefly the two stories. Okay, so Venerable Khema, she was a queen. She was the queen of King Bibisara. King Bibisara. She was a very beautiful lady, very beautiful queen, very beautiful woman. And so when the Buddha came to town, she didn't want to go to see the Buddha because she has a lot of pride in her beauty. I am so beautiful. I don't want to see the Buddha. I don't need to see the Buddha. Now, the King Bibisara, he is very devoted to the Buddha. So he tries to persuade Queen Khema to go and see the Buddha. At this point, Queen Khema was not yet a follower of the Buddha. She was not yet a nun. Right? She was not yet a bhikkhuni. So King Bibisara tries to persuade her. So if you are the king, you want to persuade your family member to go to listen to the Buddha, what would you do? All right, so King Bibisara, he gathers the poets of his country, the most skillful poets, the most brilliant poets, and he says, go and write the poem, write the beautiful poem, beautiful songs to praise the beauty of the bamboo grove. So the poets, they recite the beautiful poetry, praising the bamboo grove. Beauty, very beautiful place. That was where Buddha was staying. And so Khema, Queen Khema, she was thinking, this place is so beautiful. Let me go and explore that place. This is the method used by King Bibisara. So when Queen Khema goes to the bamboo grove, She goes to see the Buddha because the Buddha was residing there at that place. And the Buddha uses his power to create the image of a beautiful woman, beautiful angel, beautiful goddess in front of the Queen Kema. And now Queen Kema was very taken aback, was very surprised. Here is a woman, here is a goddess, even more beautiful than her. Compared to her beauty, Queen Kema's beauty is nothing. But very quickly, this image before her, the beautiful woman turned old and turned sick and turned weak. And finally, this beautiful image becomes a corpse, becomes a dead body, becomes just a collection of bones and flesh. And this struck Kema. She was awakened to the reality of impermanence, anicca. And that was her beginning of following the Buddha's path. All right, so this is the story of Venerable Kema. Now, the next story is Venerable Upalavana. Venerable Upalavana, the name Upalavana is given to her because she was very beautiful. She has very beautiful complexion, beautiful skin. The heart of a blue lily. Wow, this is a beautiful Upalavana. When she has grown older, when she has reached maturity, all the powerful kings in the land, all the rich people, all right, the business people, the merchants in the land, they all want to gain Upalavana's hand in marriage for their sons. So they all sent a message to the father of Upalavana. They says, please give us your daughter's hand in marriage. Wow. So now the father has a big problem. So many people want to marry his daughter, right? Any of you have this same problem also? Too many people want to marry you. Maybe some of you have the opposite problem. Nobody wants to marry you. So this Upalavana, she has very beautiful appearance because of her good karma, in the past. So because of her beauty, many people want to pursue her hand in marriage. And so the father received many invitations, many requests, okay, to pursue the daughter. So the father decides, this is not the right way. I don't know how to decide. So maybe I don't want to satisfy any of these kings, any of these merchants. Let me ask my daughter. So the merchant is the father of Upalavana. He thought, I will not be able to satisfy all of them. So he asked his daughter, would you like to go forth? Would you like to renounce the householder life? Renounce this householder life and become a renunciant. Would you like to go forth? Now, this is the response. This was the feeling or the experience that arises for Upalavana. That word was like oil sprinkled on her head. That means when the father asked this question, she felt very refreshed. She felt very joyful. She felt very gladdened, just like the sprinkling of oil on her head. Imagine, like, sometimes you go to the temple, and then the Bante, the Aye, they do holy water. They sprinkle the holy water. Wow, you feel very energized, very refreshed, very joyful, very gladdened by it. That is the kind of feeling. She was very, very joyful by that question. There is the possibility of going forth. And so she accepted the request. She said, yes, Father, I will go forth. And so she went forth, and in her practice, by practicing the fire kasina, the fire meditation subject, fire kasina, that was the method that Venerable Upalavana used as a basis, as a foundation for her meditation. And through the fire kasina subject, she attained arahantship. She became an arahanta. She attained liberation. So this was her practice through the fire kasina meditation. Any one of you practiced before the fire kasina? This one is a bit rarer. Some of you practice mindfulness of breathing. Some of us practice loving kindness, metta meditation. Fire kasina meditation, not very common, but there are some meditators, they practice using the kasina subjects. Okay, so this was Venerable Upalavana's practice in meditation. So eventually, Venerable Upalavana attained liberation with the psychic powers. So she is the foremost disciple, female disciple in the Iddhi, right, the psychic powers. All right, so the Buddha commented on Venerable Upalavana's practice, just like the lotus lily, you know, her name is the blue lily, right, Upalavana. Just like the lily or the lotus that arises above the water, and the water does not stick, does not adhere to the surface of the flower, it falls down. Just like that, the defilements, the corruptions, the impurities fall away from the heart. Wow, such a beautiful way to describe the practice and the attainment of Venerable Upalavana. All right, so do you want to be like this also? Do you want to be like a blue lily or a blue lotus? The water will not stick to you. Let your impurities fall away. Let your defilements, your hatred, your jealousy, your greed, your delusion and foolishness, let them all fall away. This is the practice of Venerable Upalavana. Okay, go to the next story. Yasodara and Rahula. We already know this story, all right? Many lifetimes ago, Sumedha and Sumitta, they made the aspiration to continue to support each other as husband and wife through many, many lives until in the last life, they were born as Prince Siddhartha Gautama and Princess Yasodara, all right? And the prince went forth first as a samana, and then he became the Buddha, and then the Buddha came back to Kapilavatthu, and he brought Yasodara and Rahula into his order, into his sangha as well. All right, and so together in this final life, Yasodara and Siddhartha Gautama together, they attained liberation. All right, so this is a very beautiful love story. All right, now when the Buddha visited Kapilavatthu, Yasodara, Princess Yasodara, told the son Rahula, "That is your father. Go and ask for your inheritance. Ask for your inheritance." And so Rahula went to ask for his inheritance, and the Buddha gave him not a material inheritance, but a spiritual inheritance, the treasure of the Dhamma. And so the Lord Buddha asked Venerable Sariputta to ordain Rahula into the Sangha. And so now Rahula becomes a Samanera, a novice, a junior monk. All right, good. Now, Venerable Rahula, in one of the textbooks for your exam, yeah, you will see the title is Foremost in Quietly Doing Good. All right. In the sutta, the word is Sikha Kama. Kama we learned before, yeah. Dhamma Kamo, remember? Dhamma Kamo is love for the Dhamma, right? Sikha Kama is love for the training. Sikha Pada, training, love for the discipline. So Rahula is known as the foremost in loving the training, Sikha Kama. Okay, this was in the sutta. The Buddha calls him the foremost in loving the training. Okay, next disciple of the Buddha. Next disciple of the Buddha is a very important teacher as well, Venerable Mahakassapa. Venerable Mahakassapa. His name, his birth name is Pipali Manava, all right? And he married a, he married a very beautiful woman. Her name is Bhadda Kapilani. Even in some of the past lives, yeah, Venerable Mahakassapa and Venerable Bhadda Kapilani, in past lives, some of them, some of the past lives, they also have also been husband and wife. So, however, these two people, they did not actually want to get married. They prefer to pursue the renunciant life. They prefer to pursue the life of a homeless spiritual practitioner. Yeah. So that was actually their aspiration. So even though their parents wanted them to get married, all right. So the parents arranged their marriage, all right, try to get them to get married, and then in the end they did get married, all right. But they still have their aspiration. They want to go and become spiritual contemplatives. So after the parents passed away, they went forth together. Together they entered the sangha, following the Buddha. All right. So again, together they became arahants. Okay. Now, so Venerable Bhadda Kapilani, she is the former wife of Venerable Mahakassapa, all right? She is the foremost in recollecting past lives, all right? And then Venerable Mahakassapa, he is the foremost in Dhuttavada. Dhuttavada means to advocate for austerity. So the austerity practice, the Dhuttanga practice. Okay. And Venerable Mahakassapa is very important as the leader of the first Sangha Council. Why is this very important? When the Buddha passed away, some of the disciples of the Buddha became very arrogant and became very heedless. They were not diligent. They say, now the Buddha has passed away, let us just do what we want. We don't have to follow the Vinaya anymore. We don't have to follow the rules of the Buddha. So many rules. So difficult to practice this Dhamma. Let us just do what we want. So at this point, Venerable Sariputta and Venerable Mahamoggallana, they have passed away into Parinibbana before the Buddha did. All right. So at this point, Venerable Sariputta and Venerable Mahamoggallana was no longer in the world. Who was left? Venerable Mahakassapa. He was the senior Sangha Bhante in the Sangha. And so he decided to lead the first Sangha Council. The council, the 500 Arahanta disciples gathered together to recite, to memorize the teachings of the Buddha. So today we still have the teachings of the Buddha because the Arahanta disciples, the Venerable Mahakassapa and his disciples and the disciples of the Buddha, they all gathered together. They had the unity and the harmony to come together to preserve, to protect the Dhamma for all of us. And so today we have that teaching. Okay? So that is Venerable Mahakassapa's role. Who was the two key disciples in the first Sangha Council? Venerable Upali and Venerable Ananda. So Venerable Upali, he is a barber. He's from a very low caste. So he could only be a barber. Now, he was a barber to princes, all right, to nobles, princes who are in the noble class, okay? So 6 young nobles, 6 young princes. Give me one moment. Let me make an adjustment. 6 young princes, 6 royal nobles, royal prince, okay, of the Sakyan tribe. Ananda, Anuruddha, Bhaddhiya, Bhaggu, Devadatta, and Kimbala. So these are the 6 young nobles. He was the barber for them. Now, when they all went forth, the 6 princes, they all went forth, he also followed them. He also followed them, and he also wants to go forth. He also wants to follow the renunciant life. And so, Venerable Upali was ordained by the Buddha. So this, we see the greatness of the Buddha. The Buddha ordained even someone from the low caste. And more importantly, out of these people, the Buddha actually ordained Venerable Upali first, before the 6 royal princes. This is very important. The reason is, let me explain the reason. The reason is because in the Indian society, the seniority is very important, right? The eldest one, or the the richest one, the highest status one, they are supposed to be the senior, the one who gets ordained first. They are supposed to be that. However, the Buddha did not follow that rule of seniority. He actually ordained Venerable Upali first, and therefore in the Sangha ordination, Venerable Upali becomes more senior than any of these royal princes. They also got ordained, but they ordained after Venerable Upali. So this was the beauty and the genius and the spiritual foresight of the Buddha's leadership in the Sangha. All right. So Venerable Upali, the Buddha says, Vinaya Dharanang Yadidang Upali. Venerable Upali is the foremost in Vinaya Dhara. Vinaya is the monastic training principles. Dhara is to carry or to hold, to uphold. So Venerable Upali is foremost in bearing the Vinaya or memorizing the Vinaya. He upholds the Vinaya discipline. All right. So that's Venerable Upali. The next one very important is Venerable Ananda. He was a cousin of Prince Siddhartha. He became the Buddha's personal attendant. So the Buddha says, about Venerable Ananda. Ita dagang bikave mama savakanang bikunang bahu sutanang yadidang anando santi mantanang yadidang anando gati mantanang yadidang anando diti mantanang yadidang anando uppatakanang yadidang anando. 5 things. Venerable Ananda is foremost in 5 things. Bahu sutta. Bahu sutta means a lot of learning, great learning. Sati manta. Sati means memory or mindfulness. So number 1, he has great learning. Because Venerable Ananda follows the Buddha everywhere, he remembers the suttas taught by the Buddha. All right. Sati mantana. Ananda has a great memory. He's able to recollect and retain, memorize the teachings of the Buddha, the suttas. Gati mantanang, gati manta is he's able to understand the suttas very well. He's able to make connections. And the next one is Diti Mantanang. Diti is firm and resolute. He's very strong and firm in his determination. And finally, Upataka. Upatakanang. Upata, to attend to someone, to be a personal attendant. So, Venerable Ananda is foremost in knowledge and learning, in memory, in his understanding, making connections in the suttas, very resolute and firm, and foremost in attending to the Buddha. Okay, sorry, this is not Venerable Rahula, this is Venerable Ananda. Sorry, I made a mistake in my slides. I apologize. Let me change that now. Oops. All right. Okay. Yes. So Venerable Ananda is foremost in these 5 things. All right. So together, Venerable Mahakassapa, Venerable Upali, Venerable Ananda, and many other Arahanta disciples together, they had the first Sangha council and they recited the Buddhist scriptures. And today we have the Buddhist scriptures called Tipitaka. In Mandarin, this is called Sanzang. Sanzang, Tipitaka. Vinaya Pitaka, Sutanta Pitaka, or the Sutta Pitaka, and the Abhidhamma Pitaka. All right, the Vinaya Pitaka is the training principles. All right. One of the previous sessions, one student asked, oh, the training rules, right? 227 Bhikkhu training rules in the Theravāda Vinaya and 311 Patimokkha Bhikkhuni training rules in the Theravāda Vinaya. All right. And then the Sutta Pitaka is all the discourses of the Buddha, the Q&A. You know, when people go to the Buddha and ask questions, the questions and answers, the conversations between the Buddha and his disciples, the Buddha and other people, all these conversations are recorded in the Sutta Pitaka. And finally, in the Abhidhamma Pitaka, it is a systematic and analytical and a more analytical and a more systematic collection of the a more technical, you might say, a more technical collection of the teachings of the Buddha. All right, let's go on. Okay, so this is these are some of the important disciples in the Sangha, and notice that they play a very important role. All right, these 3 people form the kingdom of the Dhamma. All right, so do you know their titles? This one you must know, yeah, for the examination you must know. They all have their titles. You all should know this. Lord Buddha, Venerable Sariputta, Venerable Ananda. What are their titles? They have a title or they have a name given to them in the Buddha's Sangha, in the Buddha's institution or the Buddha's order of disciples, the kingdom of Dhamma. Anyone knows? What is Venerable Sariputta's title? What is Venerable Ananda's title? If you know the answer, you can type in the Zoom chat or you can unmute yourself and share the answer. All right. Okay, let's move on. Now, these are the titles. The Buddha is the Dhamma Raja, the king of Dhamma. Raja, yeah, the king of Dhamma. Venerable Sariputta is Dhamma Senapati. Senapati means the leader of the army. So imagine the Buddha's order is like a kingdom, and then there's an army. All right, the leader of this army, the general of this army is Senapati. So he is the general of Dhamma or the marshal of Dhamma. Venerable Ananda is the treasurer of Dhamma. You know what the treasurer does in a kingdom? The treasurer will keep the money, keep the wealth of the country, keep the wealth of the king, keep the treasure of the king. And the Dhamma of the Buddha, the message of the Buddha, the words of the Buddha are like treasure. They are the wealth, the spiritual wealth of the Sangha. So Venerable Ananda is the one who memorizes, who remembers all these words, all these wealth. And so he is the treasurer. He keeps the wealth safe. So Venerable Ananda is the Dhamma Bhandagarika, the treasurer of Dhamma. So this forms the kingdom of Dhamma. Okay, now next important disciple is Venerable Mahapajapati Gotami. Venerable Mahapajapati Gotami, she is very important because she is the foster mother, all right? The mother who raised the Prince Siddhartha Gautama. So she led many female disciples to seek the renunciant life, to seek ordination as bhikkhunis, all right? The Buddha granted ordination for bhikkhunis for two reasons. For two reasons. What are those two reasons? Number one, out of gratitude. Out of gratitude. Gratitude to the mother for raising him, for nurturing him, for bringing him up, for teaching him the Dhamma, for supporting him into the pursuit, supporting him on the pursuit of enlightenment, right? So this is the mother's role, and the Buddha was very grateful to his mother. So out of gratitude, so this is the first reason. The second reason, the Buddha granted ordination for bhikkhunis is, anyone knows? This is very important. Why? Why did he grant the ordination to bhikkhunis? Very important reason. Anyone knows? The second reason. First reason is out of gratitude. Second reason? Okay, let's hear some answers. Do you know? If you don't know, it's fine. No worries. I'm here to share with you the answer. All right. Okay. Okay. Good. The second reason the Buddha granted ordination for women is because Venerable Ananda asked this question to the Buddha: are women capable of attaining liberation? Are women capable of attaining nibbana? And the Buddha said, yes. Women are equally as capable as men, capable of attaining liberation, attaining freedom, attaining nibbana, attaining awakening. There is no gender discrimination in the attaining of purity, attaining of wisdom. No gender discrimination. And because of that reason, the Buddha answers Venerable Ananda and he says, yes, women are also capable of attaining Nibbana. And for that reason, for those two reasons, the Buddha granted ordination for women. This is very important because the Buddha did not want to grant ordination for any random reason, for any strange reason. The Buddha wanted his reason to be very clear. Until Venerable Ananda asked the question, are women capable as well? The Buddha said yes, and for that reason, he granted the ordination. So Venerable Mahapajapati Gotami led many disciples, female disciples. Together, they seek ordination. And so she is the most senior among the bhikkhuni. She is the one who started the bhikkhuni order, the bhikkhuni sangha. All right. So very important disciple as well. The next two disciples are these are lay disciples, Anatta Pindika and Visakha. These are the two foremost lay supporters of the Buddha and the Sangha, right? Anatta Pindika and Visakha are very important. Why? Because they are very rich. They're very rich, very wealthy. So they're very important. They're not just wealthy, they're also very generous. They donate a lot of wealth to support, donate a lot of material requisites to support the Sangha. So you can see in this photo, in this picture, the servants of Anatta Pindika, they are gathering the gold coins. Can you see gathering the gold coins? This is how much money he had. He donated the monastery to the Buddha. And Visakha also donated the monastery to the Buddha and the Sangha. So Anatta Pindika, he was born, his name was Sudatta. He was born as Sudatta. He was a feeder of the helpless. He was very generous to the helpless, to the poor, to the marginalized, to the people who are sick. He was very generous. So the people also benefited a lot from his generosity. He has a lot of wealth, so he used his wealth to help a lot of people. Okay, to feed the poor, to feed the hungry, to help the helpless, to help the vulnerable. And he was a rich person because he was a business person, right? He was a trader, he was a banker, a merchant. All right, so if you want to earn a lot of money, go and be a banker. No, just kidding. Right, so this was Ananda Pinika's way of earning an income. He was a merchant. He was dealing with a lot of trading, a lot of business. All right, so this was how he earned his wealth. And he donated the Jetavana monastery to the Buddha. And for many years, the Buddha dwelled in the Jetavana monastery. For the Vasa season, many years, not every year, but many years, the Buddha would stay at Jetavana monastery, as well as in the Pubbārama monastery sometimes also, that was donated by Visakha. Visakha is also, Visakha was the daughter of a very rich person, a very rich man, daughter of a rich man. So she was also very rich, a lot of money as well. Now, she is known as, another name she has is Migara Mata. Very interesting name. Migara Mata, the name means a mother of Migara. Migara is actually the name of the father of her husband. You understand? So her father-in-law. So Visakha married her husband, and then the father of her husband's name is Migara. The father-in-law's name is Migara. But Visakha is known as Migara Mata. Why? Why? Very interesting. Because Visakha is the spiritual mother of Migara. Even though Migara is her father-in-law, but in terms of spiritual Dhamma, spiritual leadership, Visakha is the spiritual mother of Migara. Why? In the beginning, Migara was a disciple not of the Buddha. He was a follower of Niganta Nataputta. Remember the six teachers? Let me look for it. The six teachers. Niganta Nataputta. Migara, at first, he was the follower of Niganta Nataputta. And so he did not like it. He did not like it when Visakha made a lot of offering to the Buddha. He did not like it when Visakha listened to Dhamma talk by the Buddha and his disciples. So at first he did not like it. But through her wisdom, Visakha converted Migara, her father-in-law, and also gradually converted many other people in the household, in the family as well. So Visakha was very blessed. She had a lot of good karma. She do a lot of dana, a lot of good karma. And so she was very blessed with a large family. She had 10 sons and 10 daughters. Very blessed family. Many of her children are also happily married and also have a lot of children. So she has a lot of children and grandchildren. All right. And she donated the Pubbārama monastery to the Buddha. All right. So these are the two foremost lay supporters of the Buddha. Okay. The male lay disciple and the female lay disciple. Okay. At this point, I want to share the story of Venerable Angulimala. Venerable Angulimala. Okay. Let me stop here first. We are halfway through the session. Okay. Are there any questions or reflections? Anyone wants to? So far, we are looking at the disciples of the Sangha. Any reflections? I see one question by brother Ko in the Zoom chat. Thanks for the question. Any other comments? Okay, so I'm going to open my slides for Venerable Angulimala, because I have a separate slides for that. So give me 1 minute as I open my slides. And for some of you, if you want to ask questions or share some reflections, you can do that. Give me a moment. I'm loading the slides. Another important disciple is Venerable Angulimala. So all of you, if you go to Dhamma school, you already know the story, I hope. Okay, Venerable Angulimala was also a very important disciple of the Buddha. Why? So can someone tell me, anyone, some of the Sunday Dhamma school students, all right? Can someone tell me what is the story of Venerable Angulimala? Anyone wants to share? You can unmute yourself, you can share. Yeah.
So he was a mass murderer that killed 999 people. And he tried to kill his mom, but then he found the Buddha, and then he was like, "I'm gonna kill you!" And then the Buddha was like walking, and then Angulimala was running.
And then Angulimala was running.
And then
He thought the Buddha was also running. Then the Buddha said he's already stopped running. Actually Angulimala is still running.
And then Angulimala thought that he lied, and Buddha said he already stopped hurting people.
All right, very good. You're very well prepared for the examination. Good. Sadhu, sadhu, excellent. All right, so that is a summary of the story. Well prepared for the examination. I see you have done your reading. I see you have done your studying. All right, good. Thank you so much. I see Chester and Sao Yao Ling, right? Chester, Sao Yao Ling. Okay, very good. Thanks for telling a story. Okay, so I'm going to go to the slides now. Okay, let me share my screen. Are you able to see my screen? Okay. This was a slide. This was a slide deck used for our Sutta study, the Putra Heights Buddhist Society Youth Fellowship Sutta study, a few years ago. So you can see it's 2020. So this is 3 years ago. All right. So I'm going to use some of the slides. The title is From Antagonist to Arahant. Wow. Okay. Let me look at the slides. Yes. So in Mandarin, we have this saying, 放下屠刀,立地成佛. The venerable, at this point, he wasn't a venerable yet. He was Angulimala. He was trying to kill the Buddha. Okay. Now, this story, let's look at this story. All right. So when Angulimala was born, he was named Ahingsaka. Ahingsaka means non-violent. All right. The father wanted him to be a very kind and loving and gentle man. Okay. So he named him Ahingsaka. All right. So he sent him to Takasila. You all know where's Takasila? Takasila is one of the important learning centers, one of the important universities of India. So Ahingsaka was a very smart student, very clever, very intelligent, very wise, very diligent. So in his studies, he was excelling in his studies, surpassed all his fellow classmates, all right, schoolmates. And so the teacher loved Ahingsaka. He was the favorite student, top student, favorite student by the teacher. So the other students, they did not like that. They became very jealous. So they tried to make the teacher hate Ahingsaka. They tried to turn the teacher against Ahingsaka. So now the teacher became become angry or became angry because of the lies told by the students, right? The students try to say, oh, Ahingsaka is trying to betray you, right? So the teacher became very upset, very angry. So the teacher tried to get Ahingsaka into trouble. So the teacher says, okay, Ahingsaka, I give you an order. You have to get the human fingers, all right, to bring it as an offering to me, as a homage to me, because I have taught you the knowledge, I have taught you the science, I have taught you the art and craft, I have taught you the knowledge, and so you need to repay my teaching, repay my good effort to you, my kind effort to you. So Ahingsaka started to kill a lot of people, right? He became a mass murderer, he became a serial killer, all right? And he would hide, all right? He would hide in the forest, wait for people to pass by. He would observe the travelers, and then he would rush down, he would kill them, and then he would take the finger from the victims. So he keep the fingers in a garland. A garland is a little bit like a necklace, and he hangs the fingers around him. That's why he's called Anguli Mala. Anguli means finger. Mala means a garland. So he hangs the fingers around him in a garland, and he received the nickname Anguli Mala, finger garland. Now, at this point, the mother's love. The mother realized, oh, our son has traveled so far away. He might be the bandit. He might be the murderer. We need to rescue him. The father was very disappointed. The father has given up on his son. The father says, I have no use for such a son. He is no longer my son. So the mother, with his love for the son, with her love for the son, with her strong compassion, with her strong love and her relentless love for the son, she sets out to find her son. And now Angulimala wanted to try to kill the mother, right? She saw this woman, he saw this woman, he ran after her, he wanted to try to kill her. Now, what would happen? The Buddha with his eye of the Buddha Chaku, eye of Buddha, Fo Yen, he could see the world and he could see that this Angulimala needs a rescue. He needs to be saved. So he went out, and along the way, the Buddha got a lot of discouragement from the people. The people says to the Buddha, you know, ahead of you, there is a very fearful bandit. There is a very dangerous killer there. Very violent. He's going to cause danger to you. Do not move forward anymore. But the Buddha, with his power of love, the Buddha wanted to save the mother and the Buddha wanted to save Angulimala. And so despite the danger, despite the possibility of injury and hurt, the Buddha pressed forward. And so when Angulimala saw the Buddha, he changed his target, right? He wanted to chase after the Buddha, to try to kill the Buddha. Let's read this. The master, when surveying the world with great compassion, became aware of Angulimala. When the Buddha saw the grave danger towards which Angulimala was heading, he did not hesitate to walk 30 miles to save him from irreparable spiritual disaster. Oops, my slides are a bit... Okay, yes, Angulimala ran after the monk. And the Buddha used his power to create the distance, okay, to manipulate the space, all right, create the distance. And no matter how fast Angulimala was running, he could not catch up to the Buddha. And so he yells out, stop, stop, stop moving. And the Buddha says, I have stopped, Angulimala, you too stop. And so Angulimala did not understand, what does that mean? Angulimala asked, while walking, you say, I have stopped. But when I have stopped, you say that I have not yet stopped. What is the meaning of this? And the Buddha says, I have stopped because I have cast off violence towards all beings. You are not restrained towards all beings. I have stopped and you have not stopped. And upon this revelation by the Buddha, the murderer realized his spiritual depravity, his spiritual impurity, his spiritual poverty. He realized that the Buddha is there for him. The Buddha is there to rescue him. At long last, a great seer for my sake has come to the great forest. Having heard your verse in line with the Dhamma, I will go about abandoning evil. And Angulimala asked for ordination. This was the story of Angulimala. Okay. So, Venerable Angulimala. Okay, so those are the disciples of the Buddha, the Sangha. Now we're going to, yes, Brother Wong Chiwa says, the great story. Yes, it's a superb story. What a great story of redemption. What a great story of transformation. And what a great story of forgiveness. All right. So we have completed the section on the Sangha. We are going to go into the Dhamma now, the section on the Dhamma. Yeah. So let me share my slides. My screen share is loading. All right, excellent. So this is the fourfold Sangha, the disciple of the Buddha. Brother Ko asked a very good question. Monks, nuns, lay male disciples, and lay female disciples, without the Bhikkhuni order, the Sangha would not be complete, right? The answer is yes, that's true, Brother Ko. Thanks for the question. Without any of this, the Sangha would not be complete. Have you heard anyone say before? If you do not ordain, you are not a real Buddhist. Have you heard of this before? If you are really a Buddhist, must ordain, must become a monk or nun. Don't be a householder. Anyone heard this before? Some Buddhists might say that. Yeah, don't be a lay person. You're not a real Buddhist. Real Buddhists must shave your head. Become bhikkhu and bhikkhuni. Without upasaka, without upasika, the sangha is not complete. Without householder disciples, the sangha is not complete. Without the female lay disciple, without the male bhikkhus, without the female bhikkhunis, also the sangha would not be complete. Yeah. Bhikkhu, the male renunciant practitioners, monastic disciples of the Ubatu Sangha. Ubatu Sangha means the dual Sangha, the Bhikkhu Sangha and the Bhikkhuni Sangha. All right, and sometimes usually we call them Bhante, right? Bhante, venerable, right? Bhante. And then Bhikkhuni disciples, they are the female renunciant practitioners. They are the monastic disciples of the Ubatu Sangha, and usually we call them Aye or Aya, right? Aye. Okay. Now, Upasaka and Upasika are, many of us here are Upasaka and Upasika. Upasaka are the lay disciples. They are both lay disciples. Upasaka, they are the male householder practitioners, and Upasika, they are the female householder practitioners. So this is the complete Sangha, complete community of the disciples of the Buddha. Okay, good. So let's go into the section on the Dhamma. Oh, no, wait. Let's complete the Sangha first. All right. So as Upasaka and as Upasika, we need to know what the Bhikkhu and Bhikkhuni need. Understand? As Upasaka and Upasika, we need to know what the Bhikkhu and Bhikkhuni need. So these are the 8 requisites. These are what the monastic practitioners need. This is called, this one, you need to know for the examination. You need to know this. 8 requisites, atta parikara, 8 requisites. These are the requisites, the necessities that the renunciant Sangha practitioner needs. Okay. So 8 things, memorize all these. The double rope, and then the upper rope or the outer rope, and then the inner rope. All right. So 3 ropes, double rope, upper rope, inner rope, and then 5 other things, right? Alms bowl to gather food, knife or razor, a knife or a razor for shaving the hair, all right? A needle and thread, all right? So needle and thread is to mend the clothing, all right? So the ropes of the monks and nuns, sometimes the ropes, they will get torn, right? They will be a bit damaged, all right? So needle and thread to mend, to do the sewing, all right? And then a belt or cloth girdle, the belt to hold the ropes together. And a water strainer. This is to filter water. This is a little bit similar to the Jain practice, all right? The Jain practice, they also sometimes filter the water so that they filter the dirty dust inside, or they filter so that no insects go into the water, so that they do not kill any small creatures, tiny living beings. Okay, so these are the 8 requisites. Can you remember this? Must remember, yeah, for the examination. Atta parikara. Okay, good. So that is the Sangha. Let's go to the Dhamma. All right, good. Everyone, all good? You can follow? All right. For the preliminary stage, you need to know these things. And then for the junior stage, you need to know a bit more. All right. So these are the things you need to know. Now, today we are going to cover these few last components of the Dhamma. Atangika Sila, 8 precepts. Dasa Parami, the 10 perfections. Chattari Arya Satchani. Chattari Arya Satchani. Chattari means 4. Arya Satchani means noble truths. All right. And then the Mangala Sutta. So these are things you need to know. All right. These are the 8 precepts. We have talked about this last week already. Okay. So remember the 8 precepts. And the 3rd precept is different from the 3rd precept in the 5 precepts. Yeah. And then in addition to that, there are 3 precepts. All right. The 7th precept is like a combination of 2 smaller precepts. You can look at the translation. Okay. So we've covered this last week. Vikala bhojana. Bhojana means to take solid food, eating. Vikala means the improper time. Okay. Yeah. So the improper time is after solar noon. After solar noon. All right. So I think we've covered this already. Let's move on. Yeah. Brahmacharya means celibacy. Brahmacharya means non-celibacy. So, Abrahmacharya Viramani Sikhapadang Samadhyami is to undertake the training principle to refrain from non-celibacy. Okay, so I think this is quite completed already. Let's move on. Okay, the next one I need to share with all of you is the 10 actions of undhammic conduct. This is the 10 unskillful actions. 10 unskillful actions, all right? So the Buddha said in the Saliyaka Sutta, householders, there are 3 sorts of undhamma conduct. Adhamma, yeah, undhamma, not dhamma. Dissonant conduct with the body, 4 sorts of undhamma conduct with the speech, and 3 sorts of undhamma conduct with the mind. Right, so altogether there are 10 unskillful actions. What are the 10? So the first 3 is unskillful actions bodily, all right? Killing, taking what is not given, sensual misconduct. The next 4, there are unskillful actions through the speech, verbally, okay? Divisive speech, abusive speech, frivolous speech, and avarice. False speech, false speech, divisive speech, abusive speech, and frivolous speech. False speech means lying, telling something that is not true. Divisive speech means you do not create peace. You do not create unity and harmony. You try to create war. You try to divide people. Okay, that's divisive speech. Abusive speech, that means you try to attack people. You try to insult people. Abusive speech, okay? And then frivolous speech. Frivolous speech means nonsense. Nonsensical speech. Useless speech. All right, frivolous speech. Okay? Avarice means extreme greed. Extreme greed. You want to take what is belonging to other people. That is avarice. All right. The next one is malice. Malice means malicious. Malicious means having a malevolent intention, having an ill will, a hateful desire. Okay. What do you call it? A hateful intention. All right. That is malice or ill will. And then the last one is wrong view or an unsound perspective. Right, wrong view is the last act. This action is very detrimental. That's why straightening our view. Remember last week we learned straightening our view is one of the 10 skillful actions. All right, we want to correct our view, correct our understanding of life. Okay, right. So the first 3 are bodily actions. The next 4 they are verbal actions, and the last 3 they are unskillful actions through the mind. They are mental actions, these 3. So altogether you have 10. Also, this one you must remember. Okay. All right, next one, parami. Parami in Mandarin, it is called po luo mi. Okay, parami. What is parami? Parami means as followers, as practitioners who are practicing for bodhi. Bodhi means enlightenment or awakening. We are called bodhisatta. All right. So all bodhisatta, whether you are aiming for Samma Sambuddha or aiming for Pachika Buddha or aiming for Savaka. Savaka means a disciple, right? You have to practice the parami. Of course, if you are aiming for Samma Sambuddha, you are the highest bodhisatta, right? And the highest bodhisatta, you need to practice, you need to cultivate the parami to the highest level. Okay, that one is bodhisatta, Samma Sambuddha. But whichever enlightenment you are aiming for, whether Savaka or Pachika Buddha or Samma Sambuddha, you still have to practice the paramis. Okay, so now let's try to okay, these are different ways to remember the parami. Now this one is the Pali word. So anyone wants to try to recall, you should be able to remember. If you don't, you need to remember. As if you are a junior level, if you are taking the junior stage exam paper, you need to know the Pali words and the English words. All right, for parami. All right. So Pali, let me go through it. Dana, sila, nikama, panya, virya, kanti, satya, aditana. Oh, I missed one word. Sorry. There is metta. I missed one word. Hang on. Let me correct my slides. Metta. Yes, metta. Oops, I was working on the slides just now. Within a very short time frame. So okay, I have corrected my slides. All right, dana, sila, nikama, panya, virya, kanti, satya, aditana, metta, upekka. Okay. This one you can remember. Okay, I find it easier to remember the English. This is my way of remembering, my way. But you can use your own way. No worries. I have a friend. She remembers the 10 perfections through a song. So she sings. She sings it. Dana, Sila, Nekama. She sings it. I can't remember the melody already. But she sings Dana, Sila, Nekama. She sings it. And so she remembers the Pali words. All right. This is my way of remembering. I remember the English. Okay. So I remember the word gerwiddo. This is my way. You can use your own way. No worries. All right. My way of memorizing it is gerwiddo. All right. So in English, generosity, integrity, renunciation, wisdom, endeavor or effort or energy, and then endurance, and then truth or truthfulness, determination, love or loving kindness, and then the last one is equanimity. So gerwiddo. So I remember all 10. Okay. This is my way. You can use your own way. All right, so these are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. Dana sila nikama panya virya kanti sacha aditana metta upekka dasa parami 10 perfections 10波罗蜜. All right, and these are the perfections because we are perfecting the heart. We are cultivating our heart. Okay. All right. Whoops. Again, there's a mistake in my slides. Give me one moment. Let me correct my slides. Okay. All right. Now, it is important to know that these parami take a lot of time. And for many of us, it's going to take multiple lifetimes. This life, depending on your practice, you might attain nibbana. Or if not, then next life you continue. All right, this is the lifetimes of practice. And in particular, if we look at the story of the Buddha, in his past lives, we call them Jataka stories, right? In the Jataka stories, as a bodhisattva, the bodhisattva was practicing these perfections. He was cultivating these perfections many, many lives, right? So you can look at some of the stories of these perfections, of these parami, all right? For example, Kanti. Kanti is one of the very interesting stories, right? At this point, the bodhisattva was preaching the Dhamma. And then one of the kings, he got very angry. He didn't like it because when the bodhisattva was preaching the Dhamma, he took away some of his people, right? So he tried to want to attack the bodhisattva. But the bodhisattva was practicing Kanti. Even though the king was trying to attack him, hurt his legs, hurt his arms, he was still practicing patience, endurance, forbearance, tenacity, Kanti. Okay. Another interesting story is some of the interesting stories. A few interesting stories, they are about panya. In some of these stories, the bodhisattva is encountering a problem in his work or in life. There's a problem he tries to solve, and so using his wisdom, using his wit and intelligence, he tries to solve the problem. Sometimes there's even a riddle or a puzzle that the bodhisattva tries to solve. So some of these stories are very interesting. You can look into some of the Jataka stories. All right. Okay, and then sila, integrity or virtue, morality, keeping the training principles, keeping the sila, keeping the 5 precepts. All right, and so yeah, you can see all of these, some of these stories. Okay, good. Any questions so far? Any comments? Any reflections? All good so far. All right, let me look at the Zoom chat. All good. All right. Okay, next one is Chattari Arya Sachani. 4 Noble Truths. This one for the junior level, you must know. For the junior level, you must know. The 4 Noble Truths. This is the central teaching of the Buddha. The 4 words, dukkha, samudaya, nirodha, magga. The 4 words. Oh, okay. Yeah. The key word in the 4 Noble Truths is the word dukkha. Dukkha. Dukkha means the inability to deliver lasting satisfaction and ultimate joy. The dukkha in our world means this world is not capable of delivering, giving us lasting satisfaction and permanent happiness. Always in this world, there will be some imperfection. there will be some unsatisfactoriness. This is called dukkha, pain or suffering. In the textbook, it's usually translated as suffering. So you need to know this word, suffering, the translation. Have you ever wondered why we embark on the spiritual journey? Why do we begin our spiritual path? If you ask many people, maybe if you ask your friends, you ask your parents, you ask your teachers, many of us, we start the Dhamma journey because there is something not right with our lives. There is something broken. This dukkha, this experience of suffering, gives us the driving force to start to wonder, is there more to life than this? Is there a solution to this problem? So this is the beginning of the spiritual path, dukkha. Many religions, my brothers and sisters, many philosophies, many spiritual traditions, many spiritual teachings, they can tell you that life is painful. Right? Many people know this. Life is painful. And many of us, we try to escape our suffering. We try to run away from dukkha. When we feel bored, we run away. We run. Where do we run to? We run to the cinema, maybe. We run to computer games. we run to the, I don't know. We run to the shopping mall. Yeah? These days we don't go on malls. These days we go on Shopee, Lazada, right? online shopping. Okay. These are running away from dukkha. But the true escape, the true running away, should not be at the level of the dukkha. We need to go deeper. We need to analyze the root cause, the origin of our suffering. That is what we need to escape. We need to escape from the causes of suffering. This is not so easy. Many religions can tell you, many spiritual teachers can tell you, life is painful, how to avoid pain, but they're not able to analyze, they're not able to realize the origin of suffering. Samudaya means the arising, the origin of dukkha. What is the arising of dukkha? What is the cause of dukkha? When we have problems in life, usually we start to blame things or we blame people, right? Who do we blame? Whom do we blame? Sometimes we blame our parents. I look at my looks. I don't have a very handsome appearance. My mother-in-law, my father-in-law, they don't give me a good genetics. They don't give me a good physical appearance. Sometimes we blame our friends. You lah, you don't tell me this is the correct way. You didn't tell me earlier. 怎么你不早跟我讲? Why didn't you tell me this earlier? Right? We blame our friends, we blame our family, maybe. We might blame the world. We might blame the weather. We might blame the government. Blame the government. Because the government, we don't have a good education. We don't have a good transportation. We don't have a good economy. Okay. The true cause of suffering is not external. It's not external. The true cause of suffering is internal. Is internal. Even if you take away all these externalities, will you think you can take away suffering? All right, some people say, my parents give me a lot of suffering. My boss, my work, my boss, my colleagues give me a lot of suffering. If you take away your parents from your life, you remove your parents from your life, is your life going to be free from suffering? If you take away your boss, all right, you say your boss give you a lot of suffering. Okay, you don't need to work. No need to work, right? Is that going to remove suffering from your life? Some of you are students, you say, my teacher give me a lot of suffering. My teacher give me a lot of homework. All the suffering. Homework is a lot of suffering. If I take away homework from your life, will suffering be removed from your life? The government. Some people say, "Wow, the government gives a lot of suffering." If I take away the government, will I remove suffering from your life? The true arising of suffering, brothers and sisters, is internal. Dhamma is internal purification. Many religions, they teach you external purification, correct? They tell you you have to you have to wash in the holy river to wash away your bad karma. Sometimes some religions, they tell you you have to perform certain rituals, or you have to if you have certain the blood makes you impure, for example. All these are external, whether it's blood or water. These are all external purification. But in the Dhamma, purification is internal, because we are talking about the heart, the mind, the purification of the heart, the purification of the mind. Visuddhi, Chitta Visuddhi, purification of the heart. And so the root cause of suffering is, anyone knows? The root cause of suffering is our grasping thirst. We think that we must have this or else we cannot be happy. This is our cause of suffering. This is called tanha. Tanha in Pali. Our grasping thirst, our craving, our thirst. We must have it. I must get this or else my life will be meaningless. Right? I must get straight A's or else my life is meaningless. I must buy this computer game or else my life will be meaningless. I must go to this traveling trip, or else my life will be meaningless. This is this grasping thirst. All right? Nirodha. Nirodha is the third noble truth, the cessation or the fading away of the cause of suffering. When the cause of suffering, craving, has ceased, then the effect, which is dukkha, has also ceased. This is Nirodha. And then the fourth noble truth is what we've learned already. The fourth noble truth is the Noble Eightfold Path. Noble Eightfold Path. The way leading to the end of suffering. Magga. Magga means the path or the way. Now, these four noble truths, they are like a medical framework. You know, medical? The doctor, the medical doctor, they have a medical structure or they have a medical framework. The first noble truth, dukkha, is like a diagnosis. Diagnose your disease, your problem, your illness is dukkha. The second noble truth is the etiology. Do you know what's an etiology? Anyone who is a medical student here or a doctor here? Anyone? If you are a doctor, you would know this word, etiology. Etiology means to find the cause, to find the root cause of your disease. And then the third one is a prognosis. Prognosis means what is the way to heal? Heal, H-E-A-L. What is the way to recover? What is the way to restore your health? Prognosis. All right? And so the prognosis is Nirodha. Nirodha is to the cessation of our craving, the cessation of our dukkha is our way of healing. Okay? Our way of medicine, right? And finally, the last one is the prescription, is the medical treatment. The Buddha tells you this is the way to remove your craving. And the way is the prescription, and the medicine is the Dhamma. The medicine is the Noble Eightfold Path. Now, this is what we learned last week already. We've explored different translations. All right. So let's go through it again. Right view, right intention, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right endeavor or right effort, right mindfulness, and right samadhi. All right. Right view, also right understanding, right perspective. Okay. Right intention, sometimes translated right thought, right aspiration, right resolve, right aim, right motivation. All right. And then samadhi is tricky to translate. My favorite translation is composure, but in the textbook, usually you see the translation concentration. All right, for samadhi. Okay, there are many different translations for samadhi. Right stillness, right composure, right unification, right mental stability, uh, right immersion. Okay, last week Sister Im gave the translation immersion. All right, samadhi means a mind that is still, a mind that is undistracted, a mind that is unscattered, a mind that is well composed and well collected. That is samadhi. All right, so we've explored this already last week, the Noble Eightfold Path. Okay, next part is we go to the Mangala Sutta. The Mangala Sutta is the 38 blessings. The Deva asked the Buddha, what are the true blessings in life? What are the true blessings in life? All right. And the Buddha said 38 blessings. So you can go to this website, this link. You can see the 38 blessings, but I've put it here already. So the 38 blessings. Okay. So you need to, for junior level, you need to know this. Right. Some of the important ones are the first two. The first two are very important. All right. Not associating with fools and associating with the wise. The first two blessings. Mangala is blessings. And then here you can see this is the true purpose of our studying. We study not to get straight A's. Of course, we want to get good results. That's important. But that is not the real purpose. That is not the highest purpose of studying, right? For example, all of you are studying for the Malaysian Buddhist Examination. Well, maybe not all of you, maybe some of you. The real purpose of studying for the Buddhist examination is not to get a distinction. That is a good reason. It is a good motivation. It's good. But that is not the real purpose. The real purpose should be, what is the real purpose? Here the Buddha tells us in the Mangala Sutta. To be well learned, to be knowledgeable. The learning and the knowledge that we get from studying is the real reason, the true purpose. Because this knowledge can give us the benefit, can give us the understanding of how to practice the Dhamma. That's why this is the blessing. The real blessing, the Buddha didn't say, oh, getting a distinction in your results is the blessing. The Buddha says to have much learning, to have vast knowledge. All right. Another one is to have good skill, to be skillful and to be knowledgeable, to possess a skill in the craft, in the arts. This is your blessing. Another one is to be disciplined. To be disciplined. All right. When you study for the examination, you need to be disciplined. All right. You need to practice the past year questions, for example. So this is also a real purpose. You need to cultivate your discipline. And finally, the real purpose of studying is to have beautiful speech, to be well spoken. When you learn and absorb the knowledge, you need the purpose is so that you can also share this knowledge with other people. So you have a beautiful speech. So these four blessings are the blessings of studying, the blessings of learning. Okay. All right. And then there are also many other blessings. You can explore this on your own. All right. Right now we are doing this together, right? Discussing the Dhamma at a suitable time. So this is also a very great blessing of life in life. To hear the Dhamma at the right time. All of you are hearing the Dhamma now. This is also a great blessing of life. All right, so 38 blessings, okay? All right. Give me 1 minute. All right, I'm back. Okay, yes. Now, for the senior level and the higher level, there's another sutta that you need to know. So I think most of you are preliminary and junior stage. But for those who are taking senior paper and higher paper, another sutta you might need to know is Vasala. Vasala Sutta. So in the Vasala, the word Vasala means low life, like a very low class person. All right. Or sometimes you see the translation outcast. All right. So this is the Vasala Sutta. In the Vasala Sutta, someone was insulting the Buddha. All right. So hang on. Okay, yes. Someone was insulting the Buddha. Titahi. Titahi means to stop. Stop there. Shaveling. You know, shaveling means someone who has shaved his head. So this is a word of insult. It's like a derogatory term, like disrespectful term. Stop there, you shaveling. And then samanaka means false contemplative, false samana, fake samana. Stop there. Stop there, vasala, a low life, an outcast. And so the Buddha responds by saying, do you know the meaning of the word you are using? Do you know the real meaning of vasala? Do you know what makes someone a low life, a low class person, a vasala, an outcast? This is the Buddha's response. And then the person was struck. Okay? Oh, actually, I don't really know what the meaning of the words I'm using. And so the Buddha went on to elaborate on some of the qualities that would make a person vasala. So this is the Vasala Sutta. Let us look at some of the qualities. All right, I'm going to do a Google search for the Vasala Sutta, and I think we can check out. Give me one moment. I'm going to bring you to the sutta now. Let me do the Google search. Okay, found it. Okay, good. Let me share my screen. All right, you can see my screen now. Okay, excellent. So the Buddha says, do you know what is a low life? What are the qualities that make you a low life? And what are the qualities that make you an outcast? And then the Brahmin, his name is Bharadwaja. The Brahmin says, no, I don't understand, Master Gotama. All right, so Master Gotama, Buddha Gotama explains. Bharadwaja was not yet a follower of the Buddha at that time. He was a worshipper of fire. All right, he was a fire worshipper. You know, they worship the fire. Okay, so example. So I'm not going to go through all of it. You can read this sutta on your own, but let me give a few examples. So, for example, I'm looking for though able, he does not look after his mother and father. Matarang pitarang, mata pitu, mother and father. He does not look after his parents, although he is able. And when his mother and father are elderly and past their prime, he does not support them. He does not look after them. This is a quality of a low life person, a low class person, an outcast person. All right. And then when asked about the good, he teaches what is bad. He is also a low life. When people ask you what is the Dhamma, what is goodness, what is kindness, what is a good teaching, you don't teach them the correct teaching. You teach them the wrong teaching. You teach them the evil teaching. That is also a low life. All right. And then, having done an evil deed, he wishes, may no one find out about it. You do not confess your mistakes. You do not confess your wrongdoing. You try to hide all your evil deeds, all your evil actions. You do not say sorry. You do not apologize. You do not seek to make amends. This is also a quality of a low life, a quality of an outcast. All right. Okay, there are many more, right? He's a bully, right? He has corrupt wishes. He insults the Buddha. All right. So these are different qualities that would make a person an outcast. All right. Good. So this is the Vasada Sutta. Okay, now that is the end of the teaching on Dhamma. All right, these are all the things you need to know. So now we go into some of the past year questions, and maybe some of you have questions and reflections as well. So you can share your reflections. You can share your reflections and comments and questions. This is the time. All right. So okay, I'll do the commercial. I'll do the promoting events later. Okay, I just want to say, yeah. Okay, I'll do the promoting of events later. Later we can get a group photo and then we can do the sharing of events. But now will be the question time, and yeah, now will be the question time, and maybe we can look at some of the past years. All right. So we have about 10 more minutes. We might go over by about 10 to 15 minutes, but it's okay. We have time for some questions and some discussion. All right. Good. So let's look at some past year questions. I think some of you have some questions in the WhatsApp group. So now some of you can ask. Okay. Let's look at some things first. Okay. First of all, one question in the Zoom chat. Maple Shu Hong says, where to find the story of all these? You're thinking about the Jataka stories, right? If you're thinking about the Jataka stories, I believe some of them are in the textbook. Yeah. So let us look for it. Hang on. Let me get the link. Some of the Jataka stories are in the textbook. So wait. Yeah. One of the textbooks, I'm not exactly, I can't remember which one. Yeah. Oh yes, thanks, Brother Wong. Brother Wong just posted the textbook link in the WhatsApp group, so you can go check it out. Let me share my screen. Okay, yeah. So these are the textbooks for the junior level, and yeah. So I think this one has the. Do we have the Jataka stories? Ah, yes, over here. Yep, over here. Found it. All right. So in this textbook, this book is called Way to the Buddha. All right. Can you all see my screen? Yeah. You can see the Jataka stories. For example, Vesantara Jataka. Vesantara Jataka is a practice of generosity. All right. And then in the Sila Parami, you have the Jataka story as well. You can Sangha Pala Jataka. All right. So you can read the stories and learn the Jataka stories in the textbook. Is that helpful? I hope that answers the question. Yeah. Sister Maple. Yeah. Good. Virya Jataka, Mahajana. Oh, Mahajanaka Jataka is a very good story. Virya is energy or endeavor or effort. All right. So Mahajanaka, the Bodhisattva, he journeyed through the seas. You know, the ship journeyed through the ocean and the seas, encountering a lot of dangers, a lot of adventures, a lot of dangerous events. And even though the ship was encountering a shipwreck, his ship was wrecked in the ocean, he was still able to survive. It was his great effort, great energy. Yeah. All right, so this is the Virya Parami, the Mahajanaka Jataka. You all can read the story. Very good story. You all can learn from it. Kanti, just now I shared the one, right? The king was trying to insult, trying to attack the Bodhisattva, but he was preaching the Dhamma. So the king got angry, insulting, trying to attack the Bodhisattva, but the Bodhisattva maintained his tenacity, maintained his patient endurance. Kanti. Okay, and then yeah, Sacha means maintaining the truth, defending the truth. All right, good. So these are the important stories, Jataka stories, all right, in this book. Okay, I think that's helpful. Let's look at brother or sister. I think sister Mei Leng Chung says Siddhartha Gautama attained enlightenment 588 BC. Let me check. I think the traditional dates are wait, let me make a Google search. I think the traditional dates are 623 BC. Yeah, born in 623 BC. I think the traditional dates are is born in 623 BC. So 623 you need to minus 35. 623 minus 35 you get 588. Yes, that's right. So the Buddha attained enlightenment in 588 BC. Now, the exact year is not actually very tricky. The scholars and historians, actually, they debate about this. The years are not so easy to discover. You know, history is very long time ago. So it's not very clear exactly which year the Buddha was born, you know, and so on. Not so clear. But we know the rough figure, roughly 400, 500, 600 years, you know, around that figure, that around that time. So there is a traditional dating. Dating means the dates of the birth of the Buddha. The traditional date of the birth of the Buddha is 623 BC. Okay, so 588 would be the year of his enlightenment. Okay, does that help, Sister Mei-Ling? Yeah? Good.
Yes, thanks. And then another question.
Yes.
Vasa is 3 months or 4 months? Because sometimes I read up it's 3 months, but when they put the month, right, they put it from July to November. So July to November is 4 months.
Okay, good question. the Vasa season is 4 months, but the Vasa residence retreat, the time that the Sangha, the Bhikkhu and Bhikkhuni, they have to observe the Vasa retreat, right? That one is 3 months, but the season in the calendar is 4 months. Does that make sense? Does that help?
Okay, so when we answer, we will pick 3 months or 4 months.
Is there a question that asks that? If there is,
Yeah, there is.
oh no, I need to check. You get a photo or something. You let us know. Then I need to ask brother Wong. You help to record the question. We need to ask the. I don't know how to answer this question. Because in the year you have 3 seasons. In the Indian calendar year. But because the Vasa for the because the weather and the season is not so what's the right word? It's not so straightforward. The transition between weathers from hot season to the cold season, to the rainy season. It's not so straightforward. You know what I mean? Sorry, from hot season to the rainy season, then to the cold season. Yeah. It's not so straightforward to clearly divide them in terms of months. It's a gradual transition, in terms of the weather. So this one is a bit tricky, but let us check for you. Yeah,
That's why I'm also confused.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, but that's a good question. Thanks for raising it up. I need to check for you. Thanks for asking. Yeah. Any other sharing or reflections? Actually, if you want to share some reflections or feedback, you can also share. Yeah, in case if you don't have any questions, because we can discuss. Yeah. Maybe we can hang on. Give me one moment. Yeah. Anyone wants to say something? I wanted to show you all the yeah. I think all of you already know this. Our video recordings are uploaded to this YouTube channel, right? YBM KL and Selangor State Liaison Committee. So I think all of you grow up. So Sister Mabel was sharing that when she was younger, she loved dancing. She wanted to pursue dance as a career, and the mom wasn't so supportive. The mom thought that it's not very good in terms of earning an income, right? Then Sister Mabel said she almost pursued a degree in traditional dance. Wow, that's very interesting, in University of Malaya. And then, but Sister Mabel now, even though now she's still pursuing dance as a hobby, as her interest, so that's very good. Something that's close to her heart. So thanks for sharing, Sister Mabel. I'm happy for you to enjoy what you love doing. Yeah. Oh, and then another one is you would like to help in the hospital, right? To be a doctor in the delivery of the baby. Oh, that's also a very beautiful ambition. That's nice. Okay, good. Thanks for sharing, Sister Mabel. It's on the YouTube comment. Okay, and then I want to last week someone shared in the Zoom comment in the Zoom chat box. I need to check that. Oh yeah, also by Sister Maple. This is last week's comment. I did not notice this last week, so let me read it today. This was last week's comment, Sister Maple. Thanks for the sharing. Yeah, Sister Maple was saying, when we were discussing some of the Buddha's disciples who were kings and political leaders, so the Buddha was giving teachings on good governance, and so some of the students and participants, they were sharing, how to vote wisely, how to elect a good leader. Yeah, so Sister Maple said, very happy that kids nowadays are concerned about the country's future. It's great as long as the leaders lead with the right understanding. So that's a very good sharing. Thank you so much. That's a very good sharing. Thank you, Sister Maple, for sharing. Okay, yeah. All right. Any more questions? Any particular ones? I know there are some questions in the WhatsApp group, right? So we can I will try to get to those questions as well on WhatsApp. We can look at some of the past years. Maybe we can check it out. So we can look at 2022. I can share the. Oh, okay. Sister Celine has a question. Oh, 623 before Christ. So BCE, before the Common Era. So you imagine, yeah, it's like negative 623. So if you add 35 years, it's 623, you minus 35 becomes 588. Because this is BCE, before Common Era. BCE, before Common Era. So you need to, it's like negative 623. So you need to minus 35. Does that help, Sister Celine? Yeah. It's not adding because it's not 623 years. It's 623 years BCE, before Common Era. So you need to minus 35. Yeah. Okay, I hope that helps. Yeah. Thank you for the question. Good question. All right. I can share the past year paper for all of you to see. And we can look at some of the questions, I guess. All right. So this is the past year paper. And yeah. This is junior stage. So, all right, let's look at the question. Okay, the precept to abstain from using high and luxurious seats is which one of the 8 precepts? High and luxurious seats.
Teacher, this is which year?
This is last year, 2022, 2022.
I know this. It's the 8th precept.
The 8th precept. Yes, very good. Thank you. All right, let's do. All right, Venerable Sariputta went to a famous religious teacher. This one all you should know. Before his ordination from the Buddha. Is it Alara Kalama? Is it Mahanama? Is it Sanjaya Asaji? Yeah. Sanjaya Belati Putta. Sanjaya. Yes, thank you. All right. The physician of the Buddha, the doctor of the Buddha. Do you want to know the name? Jivaka. Jivaka. All right. Metta means loving kindness. So the direct enemy, the opposite of metta, is hatred, ill will. All right.
Ill will means
Good. Okay. Anyone wants to ask a particular question? Any question you all want to discuss? You can. All right. The Buddha pronounced Venerable Mahakasama as chief among those who practice dutangas. All right. Okay. Matter, feelings, perceptions, volitional activities, and consciousness are known as the 5 aggregates. This is C. Oh, this one I didn't teach. This one. I need to cover this. Maybe next time. Okay. Supra-mundane wisdom can be developed through realization of the 4 noble truths. All right, good. And okay, and then in the exam format, there's a what are the contents in the Tipitaka? You all should know this, yeah. In the exam format, there's also a section where you need to select the question and select the right word. For example, who was the second teacher of Prince Siddhartha? All right, then you need to select the right answer. Okay. All right, and then 3 kinds of evil are caused by deeds, bodily actions. Bodily actions. There are killing, stealing, and what? The answer is sexual misconduct. Where is sexual misconduct? Sexual misconduct.
Misconduct K.
Yeah, K. Thank you. Very good.
I have the paper.
All right.
My Sunday Dhamma School.
Good. Okay, so one is fond of sleep, fond of boon companions, who is lazy. Oh, we covered this sutta already. This is the Vasala Sutta. Hey, no, this is not the Vasala Sutta. Sorry, this is the Parabhava Sutta. This is the Parabhava. Oh, we did not cover Parabhava Sutta. We only covered Vasala Sutta. Okay, oops. All right, never mind. You all can read in the textbook. Okay. Sikkhapada is the Pali word for training principle or precept. Training principle or precept.
Training principle.
Where is it? Precept. Precept. All right. Pipali Manava. Who is Pipali Manava? Who is Pipali Manava? what is Pipali Manava? After he ordained, he became Venerable what? Anyone knows the answer?
Kasapa.
Yes, Venerable Mahakasapa. Okay, so these are the options. Dhamma
Can we
Bandarika.
go
Remember
through
this?
67? Can we go through number 67?
Okay, sure. Yes, thank you. Okay, number 67, the Dhammapada states, all right, from something springs grief, from something springs fear. This one is one of the Dhammapada verses. Well, this one is a bit tricky. The answer is craving. From craving springs grief, from craving springs fear. This is one of the Dhammapada verses. I can't remember which verse. The answer is craving. From craving springs grief, from craving springs fear. You need to check which Dhammapada verse. I can find out for you.
Because I cannot find it in the junior,
Craving
it's not part of the junior syllabus, right?
Yeah, it's actually not part of the junior syllabus, but they still ask. Now they make it more difficult.
Some of it is out of the junior syllabus.
Correct. This is Dhammapada 216. Dhammapada 216. Yeah. Thanks for asking, Sister Mei Ling, right? Yeah, Sister Mei Ling, thanks for asking. Thanks for the question. Yeah. This was actually out of the syllabus, correct? It's true, but well, maybe we need to ask the exam board. Okay, yeah. So Dhammapada 216, yeah, from craving springs grief, from craving springs fear. This is the answer. Yeah. Okay. Any more? Anyone we want to discuss? Yeah. Practice this. You can do the past year practice. Yeah. Okay. Pali word for three refuge. All right. T sarana. T sarana. Is it here?
Isarana.
Sao Yao Ling, did you say something?
Oh no, the people that went to Sunday Dhamma School or no, the Pali word for three refuges is Tisarana.
Yeah. Three refuge is T sarana. Three jewels or the triple gem is T ratana. All right. T ratana and T sarana. Okay. All right, good. Okay, I think we have a very good batch of students, very good cohort of students. I think all of us are going to do well. Yeah. Okay, good. All right. Okay, that is almost the end. We can go into commercial break and we can go into ending. Anyone wants to share any feedback or reflections after attending all 4 sessions? Maybe you want to say a few words. If you want to share, yeah. After, what are your insights or reflections or learning after all four sessions? Yeah. Anyone wants to share anything? If not, we can proceed to the ending. Yeah.
It was my first time attending. I really want to say thank you. What you've taught, right, is very easy to understand.
Sadhu. Thank you for the feedback. Yeah, thank you for the compliment. Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, we hope to support everyone through this tutorial study group. Yeah. Okay. Anyone else wants to share? Oh, my good friend Praveen is in. Brother Praveen, one of my good friends. Yeah. Okay, all good. So I know there's still a bit more questions in the WhatsApp group. I will find the time to answer them. All right. If you want to ask them now, you can also ask them. All right. But I'll take the time to try to answer them. Okay. And yeah. Let me look at the study group now. Actually, yeah. There are a lot of questions actually. Some of them are. Oh yeah, one brother or sister, I think it's a brother or sister in the WhatsApp group. You mentioned that some of the past year's answers are not very reliable. That's true. That's true. That is true. Some of the answers not very reliable. So it is a bit tricky. I'm sorry to say. Not all the questions, but a few questions, the answers that are given are not correct, are not reliable. So sometimes we need to share in the discuss in the WhatsApp group. Yeah. Okay. So that is a bit unfortunate, but currently that's what we are dealing with. We're trying to maybe raise some of the issues with the exam board as well. All right. Yeah. Thanks for raising it. And then let me see. Yeah. Okay. So I can see some of the questions there already. So it's good. One of you asked about the last watch of the night. Yeah. He realized the Four Noble Truths. Yeah. And he ended all defilements. All right. The last watch of the night. All right. One question. This is a very good question by Sister Yvonne Yo. I'm reading the WhatsApp group message here. Sister Yvonne Yo says, charity dana is one of the 10 meritorious deeds. And then what is the correct statement about charity dana? Okay. All right. It's in the preliminary. Okay. So let me go to preliminary level. Preliminary level 2022. That is a good question. But it's actually quite advanced knowledge also. So let's look at it. All right, number 19. Number 19. So remember we learned the 10 meritorious deeds, yeah? Dasa, Kusala, Karma, we learned this, all right? And so dana is the first one, right? Dana, Sila, Bhavana, and so on, yeah? So what is the correct statement about this? So I'll let you know the answer. The answer is A. Yeah? There are 3 periods during which volitions arise in this act of giving. So if we want our act of giving to be powerful, to be very meritorious, okay, to be very skillful, then there are 3 moments we need to watch our mind or watch our heart: before giving, during giving, and after giving. Before giving, we need to have conviction. We need to have saddha. A lot of conviction that we are doing something good in the law of karma, right? Before giving. And then during giving, we must give with an open heart. Open heart means we do not hold anything back, we give. And then after giving, we need to rejoice. Rejoice, be joyful, rejoice in our act of giving. Do not regret it. Sometimes we regret, I shouldn't give so much, shouldn't donate so much, then you regret. Then that is not a very skillful intention or skillful heart, right? So 3 periods, before, during, and after, the volition, the intentions of the heart will arise. Okay, so this is the truth. This one is actually a bit advanced, but they asked this question, so I share with all of you. Okay, yeah, this is a preliminary level, the easiest stage. Okay, all right. The evil one's army, Mara's army, consisted of 10 kinds of passion. Okay, we learned this already. Yeah. Okay, good. All right. Okay, that's good. Let's look at the WhatsApp group. Okay. All right. So we can discuss further some of the questions in the WhatsApp group. All right. Any final reflections and comments and questions here? All good. All right. I want to read one reflection by Sister Im. Is Sister Im here? Okay. Oh, Sister Im joining just now. Right? Maybe she has. Maybe she has left the meeting for now. So Sister Im, she has shared a reflection in the WhatsApp group. So I want to read it out here. All of you on the WhatsApp group, you will know about it. So Sister Im, last week she shared, thank you, Ethan, for raising the question about the fear of karma. Yeah. So Sister Im shared a quote by Venerable Dhamma Buddha. Yeah. We definitely cannot alter what has been sown in our past, but by skillfully exercising wisdom, loving kindness, and compassion in our present actions, we can surely determine a future in line with our hopes and aspirations. This is by the late Venerable Dhamma Buddha. Yeah. So Sister In says, thank you very much, Brother Waken and Brother Chiwa, for facilitating the session. We have been showered with lots of love tonight, right? Love of life, love of truth, love of integrity, love of knowledge, love of wisdom, love of right enjoyment, and love of mind and body. So wishing everyone a very good night and full of love and peace in our hearts, and an energetic morning to school tomorrow. So that's a very beautiful and loving sharing by Sister Im. So I really appreciate that. So yeah. Okay. Any more? Okay, good. I think that's all. And a week ago, or maybe slightly more than a week ago, Sister Kwa also sent me a message. So Sister Kwa is one of the Sunday school facilitators, right? Many of the students here know Sister Kwa, right? Teacher Kwa, yeah. So the students from Malaysian Drama School, yeah, you would know Teacher Kwa, yeah. So Sister Kwa, a while ago, last week she was sharing some reflections as well in the participation, in the discussion. All right, so very good reflections and participation as well. So I really appreciate Sister Kwa as well. And a while ago, she sent a message as well to me personally on WhatsApp. She was giving me a lot of good praise. I was very happy. I was very kantong. I was very moved by her feedback, very kind words, right? So she was sharing about our session being very helpful and inspiring to the students, right? And as a very inspiring teacher, facilitator. All right, so this is very kind from Sister Kwa. So I'm I'm very grateful to her as well. So I just want to say to Sister Kwa, because Sister Kwa, you'll be watching the recording. I really appreciate all your hard work also in educating the young children. So for upcoming years, all the young ones out here, you need to think about becoming a Dhamma leader as well. All right, in the upcoming years, next time you can be the Sunday school facilitator. All right, next time you can be the tutorial facilitator. All right, so yeah, to all the Sunday school facilitators out there, to Sister Kwa, for example, really a big sadhu to all your effort, all your diligence, all your inspiration to inspire the young leaders of tomorrow. All right, the young children in learning the Dhamma. I really appreciate it. It's very good. All right. Good. And then, oh yes, a very sweet by Sister Kwa as well. Today, just this afternoon, she texted me also. She said a kind reminder, gentle reminder to have lots of drinking water ready, so that I can prepare the water to drink during the session. So that's also a very sweet message from Sister Kwa. So yeah, okay. So just rejoicing in everyone's diligence, everyone's inspiration, everyone's Dhamma learning. All right, everyone's MYTTA. Yes, good. So let's bring this to a close. Yeah, we are going to go into final closing. Yeah. Anyone else? All good? Yeah, Zhihua, all good. Okay, yeah. Sister Linda says, thank you, Brother Waken, for the sharing. Brother Ko says, thank you, Brother Waken and Brother Chiwa. Wishing everyone has a good outing this coming National Day and MBE exams, Malaysian Buddhist Examination. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Yes, thank you, Brother Ko. Thank you for the sharing as well. Okay, all good. Yeah. All right, Brother Ko says early entry and late entry of Vasa, so different 1 month. All right, yeah. So thank you for the sharing as well. Correct. Good. All right, I think we have covered everything. That's good. Nice. Excellent. Sadhu, yes. Okay, good. So we are going to have some announcements. This is a commercial break. We're going to share some of the upcoming events. And after we share the upcoming events, we're going to go into sharing of merit. And we're going to get a group photo. So all of you can get ready to turn on your video camera and we're going to get a group photo. All right. So these are some of the important events upcoming. All right. So this one is a past event already, but some of you know that I'm some of you know that I'm from the Putra Heights Buddhist Society. Let me show you my virtual background. I'm from the Putra Heights Buddhist Society, and I'm one of the youth leaders in the youth leadership. Every Sunday we have our sutta study. So whether you are young or old, you're welcome to join in. All right. So if you would like to join in, feel free to reach out to us. It's on Zoom. It's online, so you can join this. All right. Sutta study, our youth fellowship sutta study. And then, okay, you have already heard of our charity dinner. If you would like to donate and support our fundraising to build the temple, you can also support us. All right, the poster. You can see the bank in details in the poster. And then, yeah. So upcoming 31st of August and 16th of September, Saturday, we have a youth sutta discussion. This is an in-person event, not online, at the Buddhist Gem Fellowship. This is by the BGF Youth Connection. All right, so if you want to join us, if you are in the Klang Valley area, right, you can come join us. 31st August, most of you are doing your exams, so that's fine. Yeah. Okay, yes, this is a YBAM event. All right, so Buddhist Missionary Society Malaysia, BMSM, and Young Buddhist Association of Malaysia, YBAM, they are collaborating to organize this event. This is a youth development workshop. All right, so for youth leaders and for youths out there who wants to join us, this is called Equip, Engage, Empower. It's a very good youth development workshop dedicated to equip, engage, and empower youths with leadership, career, and financial independence, and be in the driver's seat to protect and prolong the Buddha Sasana through religious harmony. So there are very good speakers and leaders to share with us youth development. All right, so please feel free to, Brother Wong Chiwa will share the message later on. And I'll also share the message in the WhatsApp group. I'll share some of these events in the WhatsApp group. All right, so you all can follow the event. So this is 9 and 10 September, 1 week later. Wait, 2 weeks later. 2 weeks later. Yeah. Okay, Saturday and Sunday. Yeah. Brother Wong, do you have anything to say about this event? Oh, good. Okay, excellent. Next event, also by YBAM. This is a very interesting event. Movie discussion. All right. So some of you might know the what do you call it? The star Li Xinjie. All right. So I think she's an actress. She's a singer. I think she's also a director, right? Am I right? Yeah. So singer, actress, director. Okay. She's a 艺人. She's an artist. Okay. So Li Xinjie, her movie this is an event, movie screening plus dialogue. So there will be a movie screening and then a discussion and a dialogue with Ji Cheng Fa Shi, all right, Venerable Ji Cheng, okay? So this is a YBM event. This is, what is the date? Let me look at it. 9月9号, 9th September. This is on a Saturday morning, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Saturday, 9th September. All right, so if you're interested, also go and check it out. All right, you can look at the YBM Facebook page and we'll share the event in the Facebook, in the WhatsApp group as well. All right, any questions so far? All good? All right, a few more events. All right, Buddhist Youth Fellowship Games, we are recruiting for committee members and we are also upcoming. This is in October. The event in October is a sports event and a games event. So if you are young people, if you are a youth from 18 years old to 30 years old, all right, you can come join us. It's playing games. It's very fun. All right, you can get to know Buddhist youths from different Buddhist organizations. So it's very, very interesting. All right, let me change my virtual background now. Yes. So this is brought to you by many, many different Buddhist youth groups. All right, so it's a very, very exciting collaboration. 28th October. All right. Next one is, okay, yes, this is Nalanda Dhamma Living Camp. It's a very, very good youth camp, all right, for young adults, 18 years old to 30 years old or 35 years old, all right, that range, 18 years old and above, up to 30 to 35 years old. All right, so if you know any brothers and sisters, any youth leaders, any young ones, all right, any youths and young working adults who are interested in joining this Dhamma camp, this is a very good camp. I highly recommend it. All right, Nalanda Dhamma Living Camp for young adults by the Nalanda Youth Center. All right, again, you need to register by 3rd September, I believe. So there's a few more days for registration. And this year is going to be held at Wisdom Park. You get to meet many different youths from different Buddhist groups, and you also get to learn a lot. So the Dhamma camp is very beneficial. It has meditation, it has group discussion, it has Dhamma talks, and it also has volunteering. Some of the time you get, sometimes in some of the past years, you get to plant trees, go to the Wisdom Park to plant trees. All right. This year, I'm not sure. I think they might have it again, right? To plant trees or to volunteer, right? Volunteer your service, not necessarily just planting trees, but to volunteer your service to the community. And if you can see me. Oh, this is me. And Praveen is here as well. Praveen and Weiken, we are here. And then there are some, you might recognize some people here. All right. These are the youths from Nalanda. Okay. All right. So this was actually last year's photo. Last year, 2022 Dhamma Living Camp. All right. And then upcoming GLAD 16. So this is for all people, all ages, young or old, all ages. This is a Dhamma leadership program. This is called GLAD, Great Leadership Awakening with Dhamma. All right. And this is organized by Didi Brother Tan Huat Chai by the Center for Research and Dhamma Leadership Enhancement. It's called D-Cradle. So this is a good training, good development program for Dhamma leaders. If you want to learn to be an effective Dhamma leader, I highly recommend this as well. All right, so you can go and again explore their Facebook page as well. All right, some of you already know about D-Cradle. Do all of you know about D-Cradle already? Yeah. So yeah, okay, good. I think that's all. All right. Zhihua, do you have anything to add? All right. Brother or sister Cheng says, thank you and sadhu to facilitator, Brother Weiken, Brother Wong, brothers and sisters. May all exam candidates excel in the exam and also spiritually. Yes, sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Oh, yes. Sister Kwa is back in. Okay, yeah. Sister Kwa, we're doing closing reflections already. I was just sharing some of the events we have. Yeah. I'm not sure if you want to say any reflections, share any reflections. I was actually sharing with them. This afternoon, Sister Kwa sent me a message on WhatsApp. Oh, a kind reminder to have drinking water ready. And then I was also sharing. Sister Kwa last week sent a message, very kind words of praise to Weiken and our session as well. So I was very appreciative. Yeah. So I was sharing with them just now. Yeah. So we are moving into closing share of merits now. I'm not sure if Sister Kwa, you want to say anything after the 4 sessions. If you want to say anything, yeah. If you want to share anything from your learning today as well. I know in the beginning you did come in, yeah, for the first part of the
today my what they call it, I went for sutta studies. We have this every Monday, so I clash a bit, and that's why it's so good to learn the suttas. And thank you so much for sharing. The dasa kusala karma.
Yes.
Actually, it's not so accurate, it is in the Narada textbook, I understand that.
Yeah.
But if you read the Samaditi, the Kusala Karma is actually not doing all the Akusala. And actually, like what I'm very glad that last week you wrote the correct Pali term is actually Punya Kiriya Watu. Yeah. So it's actually Punya Karma. It's not really so but I can understand it. We had a discussion and our Sutta guide, he explained that actually at the lowest level, yes, those 10 are considered Kusala Karma. You need to start with Dana. So it's not all right. It's just how Venerable Narada interpret it. So, and we all have different interpretations. As long as, like what you said, as long as we understand it and we know how to practice it, is good enough. We don't need to argue until the cows come home lah. But it's just but it has. I think some people have brought it up. So, yeah, thank you for sharing. So all the best, everybody. Yeah, all the best, and thank you so much for sharing all these interesting activities. You know, we are sometimes not aware. So I'll definitely share with friends and relatives. Sadhu, sadhu to you and Brother Tsuhua.
Sadhu, sadhu. Thank you, Sister Kwa. Yes. Okay, so a comment on the Dasa Kusala Karma. Yeah, that's a good point. It is a little bit confusing sometimes. So in the suttas, you're right. In the suttas, Dasa Kusala Karma refers to avoiding the 10 akusala actions. All right, that is the in the suttas, Dasa Kusala Karma refers to that. Now, later on, the tradition, they expanded on the 3 grounds of merit, right? The 3 punya kriya vatu, they expanded on that and it becomes 10 kriya vatu, 10 punya kriya vatu. So now sometimes Dasa Kusala Karma refers to the first one in the sutta, or sometimes it also refers to the second one that arose later in the tradition. So that one is a bit tricky. Yeah, so we need to, sometimes we can clarify which list are we referring to. That's correct. So the later one, the 10 grounds of merit, that one is Dasa Kusala Kiriya, Dasa Punya Kiriya Vatu. Correct. That's right. That's the more accurate term. That's correct. Dasa Kusala Karma is, it can refer to either one. Yeah, but in the suttas, it is avoiding the 10 unskillful actions. That's correct.
You are very good. You are following the syllabus. The syllabus says we refer to Narada's textbook. So you are accurate. Yeah.
Yeah, correct.
I'm just speaking from, you know, the old people who are very purist and they want to refer to sutta. It's just people seeing from different perspectives. That's all.
It's not
all are good things.
Yeah, thank you, Sister Kwa. It doesn't matter too much because it's the labeling can refer to any lists, right? Dasa Kusala Karma, you can call, I mean, both are skillful actions. Both lists are skillful actions. So they are both kusala. They're both skillful. And they're both punya as well. They're both meritorious. So both are skillful. It's just what you want to call them, how you want to label them. So that one doesn't matter too much. But it is important, I would say, to know, okay, yeah, where does this come from? Does it come from the sutta, which sutta, you know? And then what are the qualities there? More important than the name of the list is the qualities in the list. You know, what are the qualities in the list that we should practice? So that one is more important. So yeah, but yeah, definitely correct lah. You're right. The syllabus from the textbook, we say Dasa Kusala Karma, so I follow that method of labeling. Yeah.
You know, in the beginning of the class, you asked us why we worship, and then now that when you say that, it makes me remind me that it is the qualities. We are here to celebrate goodness, and we are here to honor kindness. And you see, do you notice I'm always going towards energies? Sometimes finally, we don't even need to identify the person. Of course, Buddha is the embodiment of wisdom and all that. Finally, the thing that we value the most is all these qualities: wisdom, kindness, love, compassion. You know? Yeah. Thank you.
Yes, that's so beautiful. That's so beautifully said. We want to honor kindness. Yeah. That's why we say Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dhammaya, Namo Sanghaya. We honor the Buddha, we honor his Sangha, and we honor the Dhamma. We honor the truth. We honor the qualities of awakening, the qualities of goodness and kindness, the qualities of love and compassion, the qualities of wisdom and peace and samadhi. So these are the qualities that we honor, and we value these because we recognize the beauty of these qualities in someone else, right? Especially in the Buddha himself, and we want to also cultivate these qualities within us so that we ourselves embody that beauty. So ultimately, we are honoring that beauty of the quality, the beauty of the truth that can be cultivated in each and every one of us. So yeah, so that's a very, very beautiful sharing. Thank you, Sister Kwa. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Okay. Yeah. Okay, good. All right. Let's get a group photo. I think we can get a group photo now. Yay. All right, brothers and sisters. Final group photo and final group photo before we go for the exam a few days later. Okay, I'm going to give about maybe 10 seconds for everyone to turn on your video camera. Any of the young ones want to share some reflections? Your Sunday school teacher gave a sharing already.
I see you're here, Chester, Adil, Yao Ling. Thank you for coming to class. Yeah, I really love my students. They are very, very cute and superb. Oh, Hao Zhen is here also. Hao Zhen is here. I see. I'm gonna catch up everybody.
All right. Okay. I
Okay.
think. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Switch
Let's
on
get
the
a group.
video. Come on, guys.
Yeah. If you are available, you can turn on your video. Then we can get a group photo. If not, that's fine. No worries. Okay. Let's get a group photo. All right. Chishwa, ready? Okay. Wait. I change my background first. MYTTA, TBCM youth. All right. Good. Okay. I think this is good. All right, everyone, smile. Look in the camera. Smile. 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2. Smile. Okay, one more. 3, 2, 1. Smile. Okay, I've taken a photo. Got it, Zhihua? Yes, excellent. All right, yeah. So yeah, sister, and number one, I want to say three words of appreciation. Number one, I want to say thank you so much, Sister Kwa, for your very kind words. Your message made me really inspired, and I was very touched, really, to receive your WhatsApp message, because I'm very happy that the work that we do are benefiting so many people, and especially the young ones. I also have a heart for the young ones, the children. So when you shared that the students benefit from my sharing, I really hope I'm very, very happy that we're helping the children to learn the Dhamma. I have a lot of hope for the young ones to become the Dhamma leaders of tomorrow. So thank you so much, and that was 让我很感动. Yeah, that was very touching for me. So thank you for your message. So that's number one. Number two, very big thank you to Brother Zhihua. All right, all of you need to say a big sadhu, sadhu to Brother Zhihua. Brother Zhihua has been doing a lot of the work behind the scenes. All right, the video recording, the video uploading, editing. All right, collecting the information in WhatsApp, everything. All right. So some of the questions today we're going to ask. Ask the exam board as well. All right. So thank you so much, Zhihua, for 3 years of teamwork and collaboration. More years to come, I don't know. All right, yeah. So wait, Zhihua, you want to say anything? Yeah, do you want to have anything to say? Yeah, all good.
Just big sadhu to all Buddhists. Yeah.
Yes, big sadhu to everyone. And finally, the last sadhu is for all of us, all of you who have been so supportive and who have been so diligent in your learning. I really enjoyed this discussion and the interaction. All of you, your questions make me think better, and I really hope that also our session and our learning together could also benefit you in your own practice. Yeah. Continue to study, continue to practice, continue to read the suttas, continue to learn more about the Dhamma, learn more about the Triple Gem, learn more about the good qualities that we want to cultivate. All right. So yeah, sadhu to everyone. Thank you so much for your effort, and all the best. All right, for your Thursday exam. Yeah. Sister Mabel says sadhu to Brother Call, aspiring speaker, and Brother Wong for great coordination. Yes, thank you, Sister Maple. Thank you for your interaction and participation as well. All right. Okay, that's the end, right? We go to sharing of merit now. All right, final word of closing from the Buddha, ma nivata abhikama. Ma nivata, do not give up, do not falter, do not turn back. Ma nivata, do not turn back. Abhikama, abhikama means go forward, advance. Falter not, advance. So have this spirit in your practice, have this spirit in your learning. All right, let us all work together and go forth, advance on this journey of Dhamma. All right, for the mission of Dhamma. Okay. Let us go into, thank you everyone, let us go into sharing of merit now. We want to dedicate our learning of the Dhamma to all beings. May all beings rejoice in our merit. May all beings benefit from our learning and practice of the Dhamma. May all beings be inspired through our light of Dhamma, through our practice of the Dhamma, through our embodiment of wisdom and peace and mindfulness. May all beings rejoice in our merit. May all beings be well and happy. Let us do the chanting of the verses of sharing of merit. Imang no punya bhagang sabbasattanang dema. Imang no punya bhagang sabbasattanang dema. Imang no punya bhagang sabbasattanang dema. We share this merit with all beings. May they rejoice in our merit and be well, happy, and peaceful always. Idang me nyatinang hotu sukhita hontu nyatayo. Idang me nyatinang hotu sukhita hontu nyatayo. Idang me nyatinang hotu sukhita hontu nyatayo. Let my merits accrue to my departed relatives. May they be well and happy. Remember the first two mangala, the first two blessings, not associating with the foolish and associating with the wise. Let us make this aspiration to continue to cultivate the blessings of life. Let us chant the verses of aspiration. Imina punya kamena mame bala samagamo satang samagamo hotu yava nibbana pantiya. By the grace of these merits that I've acquired, may I never meet evil and wicked people. May I meet the wise and virtuous until I attain my final emancipation. Final aspiration. Idang me punyang asava kaya vahang hotu. Idang me punyang nibbana sapachayo hotu. By the power of this merit, may it lead to the extinction of defilements. By the power of this merit, may I attain the final realization of nibbana. May all beings be well and happy. 愿一切众生离苦得乐. Semoga semua makhluk hidup berbahagia. Sabbe satta sukhi hontu. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. All the best for the examinations. We'll continue the Q&A in the WhatsApp group and discussion. All right, Sister Doris, sadhu, sadhu. Let's hope the server is stable during the exam. Yes, the internet server. All right. Sadhu, sadhu, everyone. Sukhi hontu. Take care. Have a good examination day. All right. Rest well and drink lots of water. All right. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Okay. And we'll continue our learning and practice. All right. Sukhi hontu. Be well. Good night, everyone. Bye-bye. Wong Hansen says, thank you, Brother Wei Ken. Yes, thank you. Thank you, brother. All the best for exams.